I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you, sir. Any questions from the members of the committee? Number 24, Representative Fleming.
Goodness.
I was going to ask you if these were Florida State grads in charge of that, but it was a while back before they created Florida State, wasn't it?
That is correct. That was long before then. Actually, I think it was University of Georgia.
Great. Anything else for this representative? All right. We will entertain a motion at this time. All right. We have a motion. Have a second? All in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. All right. Representative Hatchett, House Bill 287, sir.
Thank you, Chairman Rockway.
You're welcome.
Members of the committee, I bring you the substitute bill, House Bill 287. This is the bill that will transfer the Georgia Archives from the Secretary of State's office to the Board of Regents. For various reasons, the governor has decided that it would be a great place to put this under the Board of Regents after the Secretary of State's office was looking to reduce their budget by 3%, and after the communities reached out, to the governor and to all of us to keep the archives open, this was the solution that came about. There are 10 individuals that are changing or moving from the Secretary of State's office to the Board of Regents, and I mean that's pretty. It's not a simple bill, but I mean that's pretty the gist of what's going on and what's happening. So, any questions I'd love to take.
Great. Any questions for the representative? Okay. You wrote.
It's being transferred to the Board of Regents.
Is the archives? Is that just going to be in name only? Nothing's going to happen at the archives?
No, nothing is basically name and administration. Rules and regulations do fall under the Board of Regents, but that's pretty much everything's going to stay pretty much the same as far as I know.
Number 20, Representative Powell.
Since we already heard this as a question I didn't ask the other day. Now, by moving the archives over to the University Board of Regents system, does that mean that at the state capitol we'll still have access to issue things such as the flags and things of historical significance without having to pay the Board of Regents?
I would hope that everything's going to stay the way it is.
I understand. I just having a little fun with you.
Okay.
Proper time.
All right. Any other questions for this witness? All right. We've got a. All right. We have a motion to do pass and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, members of the committee and Chairman.
All right. Our last measure we've got today is House Bill 296 by Representative Alan Powell.
Thank you, Mr.
There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and ladies and gentlemen of the committee, bring to you House Bill 296. House Bill 296 authorizes licensed and sanctioned, state licensed and sanctioned professional private investigators to have access to motor vehicle tag and title information. Not driver's licenses, but tag and title, to help them in the performance of their duties as licensed private investigators. Currently, some 38 states allow this. Georgia is the only southern state that does not. A lot of this basically falls into the realm of their duties, since they're so interactive in a lot of cases with public safety, dealing with law enforcement and such as that. Under the Federal Driver's Privacy Protection Act of '94, they allow 15 exemptions and groups that can have access, and one of these are professional licensed private investigators. And talking to some of the law enforcement officers, they said they didn't have a problem with it because, quite frankly, the way the system works is, if a private detective is doing some type of work and they want to run a tag or see who the owner of that vehicle is, sometimes in Georgia they'll have to call if they can't get that information readily from a public safety or a public police officer or deputy or somebody. Then they'll simply call out of state to one of counterpart in another state and get them to run it for them. So it's just really just putting us in sync and standards with what other states are doing. There was some changes thanks to Mr. Fleming and the other half of the Powell caucus yesterday. In this bill, we're letting the Commissioner of the Department of Revenue establish the standards, whether they want to do it as a written request or an electronic request. And they helped to perfect that language by specifying that the Commissioner is authorized and directed to establish procedures and safeguards. So if there's an incident where there's a grievance filed against a licensee, then that revenue commissioner could basically suspend that until that's been heard. Be glad to stand for questions and appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Any questions for Chairman Powell? All righty. All right, we have a motion to pass by substitute. We're reading from LC 286607S. All right, we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? All right. That completes the business that we have on our agenda. Thank all of you for coming. Thanks for bearing with us on the...
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I like the way you run a business, in and out.
Pretty simple. That being said, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.